Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 6. How are you? I think you all are fine and great. By the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, I am also fine. My dear students, as usual, I am Muhammad Mamunur Rahman with you, and I will be available with you till the end of the class. My dear students, you know, I am Muhammad Mamunur Rahman, assistant teacher in English at your famous and renowned school, Madhupur Saraswati Higher Secondary School. Today's class is for the students of class 6 and it is English second paper class. My dear students, before starting our main lesson, I am going to show you some pictures on the display. My dear students, please look at the display. In the first picture, we are observing that a picture of our Holy Quran, and the sentence is, we should recite the Holy Quran daily. We should recite the Holy Quran daily. And the second picture of a beautiful moon. And we can observe a sentence here, the moon gives us light at night. The moon gives us light at night. And in these two sentences, there is an underlined word. My dear students, please look at the display. Here, in the first sentence, the underlined word is the or the. And in the second sentence, we can also observe that here is the underlined word the. So, my dear students, let's see what is our next slide. Again, we can see in this slide two pictures. The first picture of a shirt. The sentence is, this is a shirt. This is a shirt. And again in the second picture, this is a bat. And again here is also a underlined word, that is a. That is a. My dear students, please look at the display. The first picture is about a ball. And the sentence is, this is a ball. And again, this is a sheep. And dear students, please look at the display again. Here, the first sentence is about an umbrella. The sentence says that this is an umbrella and it is an orange, a beautiful and delicious and yummy orange, I think. So, here the underlined word is an. My dear students, so what is the reason why we underlined a, the or n? I think you can understand the matter. Yes, can you guess what are the underlined word about? Yes, it is article. My dear students, it is article. A, n or the is article, and today's topic is article for the students of class 6. So let's have a look what is our learning outcomes today. By the end of the lesson, we will be able to define article, use article a, n and the properly. My dear students, as I have already mentioned that a, the and n are called article, and in deeper sense we can say an article is a word used before a noun, that indicates whether or not the reference is to a specific entity or unspecific one. That means article is used before a noun and it indicates that the noun or the statement is a specific or particular one or unspecific one. It indicates the statement is a specific or unspecific one. So, my dear students, let's have a look on the display. Article are of two types, definite article and indefinite article. The definite article is the and indefinite article is a or n. And the definite article, which is a definite, particular or specific thing, but indefinite article is not a particular or specific thing. Actually, it is used to generalize a noun, and it defines a singular countable noun. We can use a or n before a singular countable noun, and we can use the before a definite or particular noun. My dear students, so if we find a consonant at the first letter of the word, that means in this case we have to use a. If we find a consonant, we have to use a before that word. And if we find a noun, the starting letter of a noun is a vowel one, and we should use n before a noun starting with a vowel. So my dear students, what are the vowel? Vowels are A, E, I, O and U. A, E, I, O and U. So my dear students, let's have some examples and common used of articles. Here the first portion of the display or first portion of the picture tells about where to use a. So let's see some example. Book, if we find a noun like book, fan, picture, tiger, laptop, book, flag, dog, horse and chair, don't be hesitate, put a before this noun. And the second portion of the picture tells about the idea about where to use an. My dear students, we can use an before egg, eye, arm, ice cream, ink pot, umbrella and elephant. So if you find a word, if you find a noun where the starting letter of is a vowel, we should use an before this noun. My dear students, so I think it won't be 100% okay for you if you just put emphasis on vowel. I think it will be better for you. It is must for you to have a knowledge about something about vowel sound. So what are the vowel sounds, my dear students? Vowel sounds like a, e, o and a. If you find any one of these vowel sound, you should use n before this sound. My dear students, if you find a blank and after a blank, if you find a noun and which indicates or which the starting sound of this noun is or the pronouns like a vowel one or vowel sound like a, e, o and a, don't be hesitate, put n in this case. For example, elephant, egg, insect, apple, alligator, orphan, umbrella, etc. But here is a chance to make a mistake here, my dear students. One, a is used before one. Here a is used before one because one is not a vowel sound. The starting sound of this one is not a vowel one. It's a consonant one. Though O is a vowel, we know, but the starting sound of it's a consonant word. That's why we use a. Similarly, one-legged girl, one takanut, etc. And university student, unique, European, useful, utopia, all the noun mentioned here sounds like a consonant, not a vowel one. The starting sound of university is U, and U is not a vowel sound. That's why we should use a instead of n. I think you can understand the matter, my dear students. Some examples here. He is a European. European, we use a before European. Though we know that E is a vowel one. We know that E is a vowel. But here the sound is not a vowel one. That's why we use a. And again, I have one taka note. Though the sound is a consonant one, we should use a in this case. So the rules is a is used before the sound u and o. My dear students, here are some examples too. A one idea, a union, a university, a useful and unique scene. All the noun mentioned here is starts with a consonant sound. That's why we should use a in this case. My dear students, here are some examples. She is an honest man. Mother Teresa. It is actual that Mother Teresa was a kind-hearted person and an honest person. Here, the noun is honest. Honest is a noun here, and it starts with a consonant letter H. So, but we use N, my dear students, we use N here before a consonant letter or starting of a consonant noun. Why should we use N in this case? Because H is silent here, my dear students. If you want to pronounce this noun, you can find out that H is silent here, not honest. The pronunciation or accurate pronunciation of this noun is honest. And I have mentioned that O is a vowel sound. O is a vowel sound. That's why we should or we must use N before honest. And Mr. Karim is an MBBS. Here is an abbreviation word. M is a consonant we know, but the starting sound of this M is A, and A is a vowel 1 or vowel sound. That's why we use N. So here is a note for you. N is used before the sound of O, A, and A. My dear students, follow some examples here. Our is silent here, and the pronunciation is our A. That's why we use N. Similarly, honest, M-A, M-P, L-L-B, M-L-A, S-D-O. All the noun mentioned here has a vowel sound, has starting sound of the nouns is vowel. That's why we should use N. And in this slide, we are going to learn where to use no article. That means where we should mark cross. So number one is to talk about things, to talk about things in general. That is, milk is good for you. Milk is an abstract noun, and we shouldn't use any article before abstract noun. So milk is good for you, and actually material noun. Well, to talk about. Number two is to talk about sports and games. To talk about sports and games. For example, let's go and play basketball. Here, basketball, we don't need to use any article before basketball because it's a name about sports and games. And before the names of countries, for example, Japan, France, Italy, Bangladesh, etc. But the UK and the US is an exceptional thing. UK and the US is exceptional. You have to use the before UK and US. And again, before the name of a language. Language means, we know, we are learning English. We are learning English. So, we shouldn't use any article before a language. Before the names of a railway station, when they are also place names. And again, before the names of meals, they are invited some friends to dinner, not to a dinner or to the dinner. And before noun or number, the laboratory is in room 6. Here room is a noun and is followed by a number. That's why we shouldn't use any article in this case. My dear students, here is a section of evaluation, filling the blanks with appropriate article. For the first sentence is, Tarek is dash brilliant boy. I think A will be appropriate here. Tarek is a brilliant boy. He showed an excellent performance. An excellent performance. The tiger is a ferocious animal. Rohim is a university student. We should use a. It takes an hour to go there. It takes an hour to go there. I have a mobile phone. I think you can understand, my dear students. So let's see some homework here. So I'm giving you a homework. You should practice it in your home. Fill in the blanks with A or N. Osman is dash meritorious student. He studies in dash renowned college. There is dash expert principal in the college. He is dash honest man. The college has achieved dash unique position in regard of result. My dear students, take a snapshot so that you can use this picture while you are in offline. So my dear students, I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for attending this class. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.